Before Julia, curvy model was an industry afterthought. After her, it's a movement that's reshaping runways, magazines, and social media feeds worldwide. But here's what you probably don't know. Behind those viral photos and magazine covers lies a battle that would have broken most people. Spoiler alert, Julia Tica isn't most people. Today we're diving into the real story of how a girl who was once told to lose weight or lose hope became the woman who made an entire industry rethink what beauty even means. Buckle up, this isn't just a biography, it's a masterclass in turning rejection into revolution. In a world obsessed with thigh gaps and collarbones, one woman dared to ask, what if curves weren't just beautiful but revolutionary? Meet Julia Tica, the model who didn't just knock on the fashion industry's door. She kicked it down wearing 6-inch heels and confidence that could fill a stadium. Born in Bucharest, Romania, Julia's relationship with her body began like many of ours. Complicated. Growing up in a post-communist country still fixated on Western beauty ideals, she stood out from age 12 when standing out was the last thing any teenager wants. My mother bought me my first pair of Spanx when I was 14. Julia once revealed in an interview, not because she wanted to change me, but because she thought the world wouldn't accept me without them. Plot twist, acceptance was never Julia's endgame. School became a battleground of whispers and side eyes. But while most teenagers hide their differences, Julia developed a survival strategy that would later become her superpower: unapologetic authenticity. When classmates mocked her curves, she started wearing more fitted clothes, not less. When a high school boyfriend suggested she would be perfect if you just lost 10 pounds, she didn't lose weight, she lost him. Breaking into modeling when you don't fit sample sizes is like trying to crash an exclusive party where the bouncer already hates you. Julia's first 20 agency meetings ended with variations of "love your face, hate your measurements." The turning point came during a family vacation to Milan at 18. While walking past a photo shoot, a stressed assistant mistook her for a plus-size model who was running late. Instead of correcting the error, Julia stepped in, nailed the shoot, and walked away with both a check and a revelation. Perhaps the very body she'd been told to change was exactly what could make her unforgettable. Her breakthrough came from the place most revolutions now begin: Instagram. While mainstream agencies were saying no, Julia started saying yes to her own photo shoots, styled in her bedroom, shot by friends with secondhand cameras. Her early posts weren't just selfies, they were manifestos, each caption challenging beauty standards with the kind of wit that makes you laugh before you realize you're being schooled. When her following hit 100K, industry doors that had been slammed in her face suddenly cracked open. Italian Vogue featured her in their digital issue. Then came the campaign that changed everything. A swimwear brand took a chance on her for a small summer collection. The sales didn't just exceed expectations, they crashed the website. Twice. Posting those first photos felt like sending my diary to strangers, she later admitted. But the alternative was letting someone else write my story. The lesson? When the fashion industry claimed there was no market for bodies like hers, the market itself disagreed loudly and with credit cards. Julia's genius wasn't just breaking in, it was breaking the mold of what a plus-size model could be. While the industry wanted to box her into commercial catalogs, she strategically built a brand that transcended categories. Her signature became the unexpected, high-fashion editorials where curves had rarely been seen, luxury campaigns that previously only cast straight-size models, and avant-garde photographers who discovered that curves created lines their cameras had been missing. "My body isn't my brand," she clarified in her first major interview. "My perspective is, I'm not here to be tokenized, I'm here to tokenize myself." Her social strategy was equally calculated. While other models posted generic outfit photos, Julia turned her platform into part fashion showcase, part comedy club, part TED Talk. One day, she'd break down the engineering behind finding the perfect jeans for curvy figures. The next, she'd post a behind-the-scenes video exposing how many clips were holding together a designer dress that refused to acknowledge bodies larger than a size 4. The approach paid off when luxury brand Versace, a house notorious for size exclusivity, signed her as their first curvy ambassador, sending shockwaves through the industry and signaling that Julia had transcended being merely a model to become a cultural force. What separates Julia from other models isn't just how she looks in front of the camera, it's what she does behind it. While many celebrities whisper about body positivity from their privileged pedestals, Julia built a megaphone. But advocacy comes with costs. When Julia spoke out against a major designer who claimed clothes just look better on thin people, the backlash was swift. Death threats filled her inbox. Brands canceled contracts. Industry insiders warned her career was over. Her Beyond Measurements initiative partners with schools to address body image issues among teenagers. The online masterclasses she created have taught thousands of women how to photograph themselves in ways that celebrate rather than criticize their bodies. And her viral TikTok series, Outfit Physics, breaking down the science of dressing different body types, has more educational value than most fashion degrees. Her response? A photo shoot recreating iconic fashion moments from history, with her curvy body replacing the original models, captioned only, "I'm not going anywhere. Expand your vision or become irrelevant." The Julia effect has rippled through fashion in measurable ways. In the 5 years since her breakthrough, runway diversity has increased 4. Brands that never carried above a size 12 now extend to 24. And perhaps most tellingly, the term plus size is increasingly being replaced with simply model, exactly as Julia has always insisted it should be. The post became her most shared ever, and the brands that dropped her were quickly replaced by those who recognized that authenticity isn't just powerful, it's profitable. "I don't want credit for making curvy bodies trendy," she once clarified during Fashion Week. "I want credit for making them normal." The Met Gala invitation followed, where her custom gown became the night's most photographed look, not because of who designed it, but because of who wore it. The message was clear: Julia Tica had transformed from industry outsider to its new center of gravity. Her 2023 cover for American Vogue, the first featuring a visibly curvy model in a high-fashion editorial rather than a special body issue, marked a tipping point. The editor's note acknowledged what many had observed. Julia hadn't just earned a seat at the table, she'd rebuilt the table itself. "People assume I eat whatever I want because of my size," she once explained. "The truth is, I eat whatever nourishes me physically and mentally. Sometimes that's a salad, sometimes that's pasta. The revolutionary act isn't what I eat, it's refusing to apologize for any of it." For all her public confidence, Julia's private routine reveals the discipline behind the revolution. She begins each day at 5 a.m. not for punishing workouts, but for what she calls selfish hours of reading, journaling, and the meditation practice she credits with surviving industry pressure. Her close circle remains surprisingly small. Mostly childhood friends who knew her before fame and family who keep her connected to her Romanian roots. Her apartment, contrary to the flashy influencer standard, is filled with books rather than designer goods, and she still does her own grocery shopping, where fans often spot her deliberating between ice cream flavors with the intensity of someone choosing a life partner. When asked about dating as a public figure, she laughs. "I'm in a committed relationship with my career, but we see other people occasionally. The difference is now I'm not the one being rejected. I'm the one with standards." Her signature styling trick? Proportion play. "Balance is boring," she's often quoted. "Tension is interesting." This translates to unexpected combinations: fitted tops with voluminous skirts, cropped jackets with flowing pants that create visual conversation rather than attempts at optical illusions. Julia's fashion sense isn't just personal, it's practically a peer-reviewed study in dressing with intention. Where many curvy women were taught to hide, she highlights; where conventional wisdom says avoid patterns, she embraces them. Color is another weapon in her arsenal. While the industry pushed black as slimming, Julia built a wardrobe that looks like a box of macarons, pistachio greens, lavender purples, and her trademark cerulean blue, which appears so frequently it's now referred to as Tica blue by fashion insiders. Her collaboration with accessible fashion brand Universal Standard revolutionized technical aspects of curvy fashion, introducing internal structure that provides support without compression and seam placements that work with curves rather than fighting them. The collection sold out in hours and remains their most requested restock. Her advice for anyone struggling with style? Dress for the body you have, not the body you're told to want. The most attractive thing you can wear isn't a size. It's the confidence to ignore anyone who thinks sizes matter. Today, Julia Tica stands at the intersection of model, activist, and entrepreneur, with a beauty line launching next month that promises shade ranges for all skin tones and formulations tested on diverse skin types. The waitlist already exceeds 200,000. For everyone watching who's ever felt excluded by beauty standards, Julia's story isn't just inspirational, it's instructional. The revolution isn't waiting for permission. It's wearing what makes you feel powerful, supporting brands that see your value, and refusing to apologize for the space you occupy. But her most powerful project may be the one least visible: mentoring the next generation of diverse models navigating an industry still in transformation. Breaking in was hard, she acknowledges. Building structures to keep the doors open for others. That's the real work. If you found value in today's video, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community that celebrates all forms of beauty, one video at a time. Drop a comment about which fashion rule you're planning to break next, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded that their body isn't an obstacle to overcome. It might just be their superpower in disguise. Until next time, remember Julia's words. Taking up space isn't selfish. Sometimes it's the most generous thing you can do for the world.